Hello, mortals. Zach here. Today is actually our 2-year anniversary of Mortals and Portals. So we just wanted to record a little thank you message for all of you guys. We're not together. I reached out to everyone separately, and they've all recorded their own thing. I'm going to edit it together so you can kind of hear us all. We don't really have like a format for this. I kind of sent everyone some questions they could think about if they want, but everyone's just going to kind of spend some time reflecting on all the awesome things the community's done for us, just our experience with this podcast and sort of what we're looking forward to next as we're inching closer to season 3. But man, yeah, I can't believe it's been 2 years. Seriously, in a lot of ways, it feels like it was just yesterday. In some ways, it feels like it was 10 years ago. I mean, a lot of effort and just epic story and great memories with everyone. A lot of people we've gotten to know through the community. So it just feels even longer than 2 years in a lot of ways. But yeah, ultimately, I just feel so blessed that we're still doing this, that there was enough interest to justify doing this for 2 whole years. I think if you asked any GM who was going to start a campaign with their friends, like, hey, would you be happy if you're still doing this in 2 years? I'm sure they would sign up for that instantly. And I am no exception to that. I just feel so blessed. And it's even more amazing that there's just a whole community, you guys, the listeners that are along for the ride with us. You're giving us feedback. You're engaged in the story. You have your own theories, the way you guys react to every episode, and just tell us what you enjoyed. It's seriously it's wholesome. It's incredible. Like, that's really what keeps us going, because ultimately the editing, the music, the sound effects, all the extra effort, that's for you guys. Like, we do that to hopefully give you guys great content, delight you all. And then also, selfishly, I just love the fact that our campaign is archived. Like, I can only imagine maybe 20 years from now, who knows, if I haven't played tabletop RPGs in years, I can press play on this and reminisce on great times with my friends. And, that's ultimately why we started this. As we got older, it got harder and harder to play consistently. I mean, we've all been there. I'm sure if you've played tabletop RPGs long enough, you have experienced scheduling conflicts. You have seen, campaigns take a long time. You start a campaign, all you and your players are in a good spot. Yeah, we can meet every week at this time. And then it goes on for a year, 2 years. Schedules change, lives change, people move, people have kids, people get new jobs. And it kind of just all starts to gradually fall apart, and next thing you know, you're not playing. I mean, that happened in our first campaign we all played together years ago. And we kind of just wanted this to be a podcast because it would force us to keep playing, because you guys are also a part of our party. You're a part of our table. You're a part of our group, and you guys want to play. You have the expectation to hear the session. And that extra little push is what drives us to move our schedules a little more deliberately than we would if we were just, letting each other down, so to speak. But it's worked. And I'm so happy it did, because spending time with Ryan and Taryn and Adam and Joel consistently throughout the weeks has been awesome. It's something I look forward to all the time. It's just a bright spot of my week. And with that, episode release dates are such a bright spot of my week. Just hearing you guys react, watching the comments come in on the Discord, Spotify, YouTube, Reddit, anytime I see any of those things, it just gets me so excited. Because again, if you've GM'd, hearing your players say something positive about a session is honestly like the fuel you run on, I'm guessing. And comments from the community are no exception to us hearing all that. So I got to thank anyone who's taken the time to write a comment or a review, give a like, give a recommendation of any kind, because that is more powerful than anything we can do. If we post saying, hey, we think we have a great podcast, nobody cares. Obviously, we think we have a great one. We're biased, but recommendations from people like outside the immediate crew, that holds the greatest value. And one thing I've noticed since I creep around the internet looking for the comments just to make sure I can read them on the show and give you guys a shout out is I really feel like Mortals and Portals community, like your guys' comments, always stand out as the most thoughtful in my eyes. It's not like you just say, hey, Mortals and Portals is pretty good. A lot of times you guys advocate for us in a really like genuine and strong way. I've seen comments where it's like, they started out, they dove straight in, they didn't know the rules, and they're kind of setting that stage and saying, but they've learned so much, they've taken feedback, you've seen the show grow, the narrative is this, that, and whatever else. And it's like, wow, this person, if you took time out of your day to even write us a sentence, that's incredible. But to go that far and just really vouch for us and prime a new listener for what they might experience, it's just incredible. And it really, we screenshot it every time, share it to each other, encourage each other, and I can't say enough. Seriously, it's amazing. Our recordings are pretty far ahead of the release usually, so by the time I read a comment in an episode, it happened a while ago, and we finished recording, I don't know, maybe a month ago even. So as the new comments trickle in, it makes me sad that I don't have an episode to read it on. But I just want everyone to know that I see all of them and they're never wasted. Like seriously, because they really, really encourage us. And so thank you to everyone who's taken the time to do that. I also just want to thank anyone that's, joined the Discord or engaged with the community in any way. We can take zero credit for how awesome the community is. If you go into the Discord, nothing but friends, great people helping each other out, super welcoming. I just love when someone joins. First thing someone does is ask them if they want an apple, just kind of kick off that little inside joke that they've probably heard if they've at least listened to episode 1. Maybe someone joined the Discord without listening. I don't know. Who knows? You'd have to let me know if you did. But yeah, like we didn't set up some kind of pipeline on how to welcome people. We barely, I don't even think we've really put up Discord community rules. I think someone, Tim, a very active member of our community, shout out to Tim. I think he posted some rules in the welcome page or whatever. And it's just like we've barely had to enforce like anything. It's just everyone's been so amazing. So thank you guys for that. If you haven't joined the Discord, please do it. There should be a link in the show notes. Check that out. We'd love to have you. We'd love to hang out with you, get to know you. A lot of cool things have come out of the Discord too. Like some people, Tim and Geeky Monkey in the Discord, I think they've met in real life. They just realized they're in the same place and they went and shared a drink with each other. That's incredible. I've seen people celebrate promotions with each other, give each other feedback about like their tabletop groups or things they're going through. Just like actual life stuff has happened. At what point, Tim Z3DT, shouting you out a lot, man. You've been doing a lot of work. He actually GM'd Call of Cthulhu for everyone, and I got to join in on that. Unfortunately, with my schedule, I didn't get to like finish the whole adventure, but I got to spend a few hours playing with a bunch of people from the community, and they're all just so awesome, so cool, so fun. So those are the kind of things that are going on in there. I mean, I could talk about this forever. So many cool moments in the Discord, so many great people. I mean, there's people that have been there since we launched episode 1. Helsinki Torpedo, man, I got to shout you out. You are our first patron that we didn't know in real life, which was awesome. You put our first Reddit post on our Reddit, just saying how much you enjoyed the episode, came into the Discord. We're just, I can't believe you're still here, man. You're an awesome dude. Love hearing about all you got going on. He's the fish lord. Dude loves the fish. Love that guy. I'd love to shout out everybody. I would hate to leave anybody out, but like awesome people in there. Every single person. It's just been a delight to interact with. So thank you so much. I also just kind of want to announce a couple things because some people mention them in their thank yous. And if I don't give the context, you might be wondering what they're talking about. But just in terms of things I'm looking forward to, one is we're launching a Patreon campaign. It's more of an anthology series. So if you enjoy Keldora and want to more rapidly explore some of the lore, that's kind of what this stuff is about. They're isolated adventures. They're sort of connected by some other things, but they're usually there to flesh out just some story that would kind of be jarring if we took a break in the main campaign to explore. But my goal is that they actually have value on their own. They're not just kind of like pointless prequels. And we've fully recorded our first one and edited it, and I love it so much. I don't want to spoil anything, but I will post like a preview by the time we launch it, because we'll launch it after season 2 ends. I'll post a little preview on the main feed if you want to check out what that's all about. But really, really excited about that. Super fun to write like a cohesive, like one-shot adventure with beginning, middle, and end, flesh out lore, have new characters. Super pleased. We were sharing it the other day, and a lot of us agree it's like one of our favorite episodes we've ever made, period. So I'm really excited about that. I'm also excited that, again, the Discord community, couple big people, Tim, Sasha, Garolo, Complete Scone. I know more have contributed. I hate to leave everyone out, but they kind of all rallied and started making this Mortals and Portals wiki with a link in the show notes as well. I think I mentioned it in the outro of a earlier episode, but it's a work in progress. We could totally use some help. So if that's something you would have fun with, like fleshing out lore or have good experience with wikis or anything like that, come join the Discord. We have a whole channel to it, but it's super fun for me to browse. I can't think of anything more flattering as a GM than seeing like someone else consume your lore and write about it. And they're so much more gifted at writing than I am. The things they pick up on. It's really funny too. There's kind of a joke about like when they get a new thing, they want to solidify the spelling on it. Like if it came up in an episode, and it's just this moment where I go check my notes and realize that I am super inconsistent in my spelling and spell it all sorts of weird ways. But it's fun to canonize that stuff, and it's just a joy to read through it all. There's lots of little humor injected in the summaries and the descriptions, and just really great writing skills. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing that get expanded more. It takes a lot of time and effort though, and I just can't believe people are willing to do that for us. So thank you guys. That's such a great gift from you all. Thank you for doing that. Some other things I'm looking forward to is as we got season 3 coming up, I really just I want to see what we can do to really send the show maybe into the next, I don't know, level, so to speak. I mean, we've already exceeded any like actual honest expectations I could have had for the show. Obviously, you can dream and think like, oh, maybe we'll be as big as Critical Role. Not a chance, but already like we've exceeded what I would have reasonably expected, and it's been awesome. But given that and given all the content, we now have a lot of stuff we can point people towards. So I want to see what we can do to kind of get us out there more. And we've been exploring a couple things. I won't say any like specific names just in case it falls through, but we've reached out to a few other content creators for some collaboration ideas, some on YouTube, some that are also just doing podcasts, just some other ways we can get the name of the show in front of other people, because we really don't like on our end do a great job of promoting it. I'd say like we're sort of active on Reddit, but I mean that's only a portion of the community that lives on Reddit. So that's another thing we'd like to do, just kind of get in front of other audiences. But obviously collaborating takes a lot of work. You got to meet with another content creator and figure stuff out, align your schedules. Unfortunately, it's not as simple as like, yeah, let's do it, and then it's done. So hopefully all those things are able to come to fruition. I would like to see what that could lead to. I've made a few YouTube videos for our channel that are kind of more like general, like GM advice and things like that, meant to kind of point people towards our show, and then also just kind of grow the brand a bit. That takes a ton of effort in addition to like the other stuff we're doing, but I do want to make a few more of those, see where that leads. But yeah, I'm really just excited for season 3. I know as the point that this comes out at, you guys would have heard through season 2, episode 30. There's a few more episodes after that, so I can't say too much, but we're really teeing up for some epic stuff. So I'm just excited to see where that leads. And just put a 3rd season under our belt. I'm really looking forward to that. Never knew for certain if we would make 3 seasons, so I'm just glad we made it that far. And that is 100% all because of you guys. Because if we didn't have listeners, if we didn't have people supporting us, especially Patreon, then all of this extra efforts wouldn't really be worth it. Because I mean, I got to shout out the crew. Like a ton of hours goes into making a finished episode. I mean, you got the recording itself, which is obviously like one episode is about 2 hours of real life time as we record the actual episode and then the downtime. And then we usually try and record 2 episodes when we get together. So that's about 4 hours. And that's like on a weeknight. So we all kind of stay up a little bit late that night and go to work tired the next day. And then we got to edit it. So Joel has to sit down and edit the vocals, and that takes hours and hours. Because even if he just listened straight through the audio, that's 2 hours of his time. But he's got to stop every time there's a sniffle or a cough or something needs to be cut and edited. And then he needs to listen back to it, make sure it sounds good, does all that stuff, puts it up on our other editing software. And then Taryn's got to go through and listen second by second and add sound effects and browse and put them in and balance them and overlay them and do all those things. And then Ryan's got to go through and listen to the episode and identify where cool music is needed. And then if he has existing music, he's got to figure out where to place it and how to balance it. A lot of times he's like splicing songs he already has existing and then overlay them to make a different sound and all this, or he's got to sit down and write a completely new song from scratch. And I wish I could tell you what that process is like, but I'm not talented in that way. But I know he's made some YouTube videos giving a glimpse into what that's like, but I know that takes hours and hours of his time and all that. He put it all together. And usually what we have to show for it is about a 50-minute episode. And now you can see why we switched to bi-weekly. But I know we don't need to do all that stuff, but I mean, really, it's just we wanted our show to be different. We wanted it to stand out. We wanted it to be narrative driven and immersive. And I know sometimes, a lot of times, we're not great on the rules, but we didn't set out to be this technical podcast. There's plenty of other ones like that. We wanted to be something different. And we felt like Pathfinder community was kind of lacking in that. I mean, I don't mean that in a way of like other shows don't offer aspects of that or any shaded other shows, but I just felt like, D&D scene is spoiled in that. I mean, all theirs are basically narrative driven, and Pathfinder a lot of times is a bit more technical, and we wanted something that would kind of serve as like a bridge, for people that wanted to check out Pathfinder, because that's what we were. We wanted that sort of welcoming, hey, it's okay to get the rules wrong. We're not going to overwhelm you with the rules. We're just going to play. It's okay if you and your table sit down and get some stuff wrong. It's all right. You'll survive, except for you. But, it is what it is. And that's just kind of what we ended up being. For a while, we maybe kind of regretted it. Like, oh, did we do this wrong? Should we have been better at the rules first? I don't know. But ultimately, I mean, we're comfortable with the type of content we produce. And you guys are just so great and supportive and sticking with us as we learned and grew in that. And I have to shout out Adam, like his artwork. I hope you've seen it. If you haven't, we have a lot of stuff like available to everyone. And then obviously we have our session sketches, but talking about just feeling spoiled as a GM to have your campaign memorialized in this way. Another amazing thing is just seeing it brought to life in artwork by Adam. And he just approaches every piece of art with so much care. He listens to any vague description I give of a character and makes sure he embodies that. But then he fills in all the gaps. Like I have this hazy vision in my imagination, and I just kind of point out a few things. But he has to like connect every little pencil line to bring this to life. So if I didn't describe what kind of belt they had, or exactly what their hair looked like, or maybe the shape of their face, like he is the one who finalizes that, and that is who they become in our imaginations. Like he brings it to life, and we're so spoiled. Thank you, Adam, for like I cannot believe like the crew we had on deck ready to go. Obviously, like Joel and Taryn had to learn all their stuff from scratch, but the fact that Ryan and Adam were already kind of engulfed in their skill sets, I can't believe we had that. But they've obviously all grown so much as well in that. So thank you guys for all the work you've put in. Just to make this world I made up a little more real, and making it easier for other people to step into it as well. So thank you guys for that. Yeah, there's so much more I would love to do. I mean, like making adventure paths out of this. I think the Nisserine arc with 3 drakes and an evil druid and some bandits on the island would be really easy to make into adventure path. And when I say easy, I mean the core of it is there. I don't know what goes into like making it super fleshed out and legit looking, but that would be really fun to do. I would love to make more videos. I would love to just make more episodes if we had the time, just all sorts of things. But yeah, I don't know. Hopefully we'll see what the future holds. We want to give it a really, really big push and just see where the show can go from here. But can't do it without you guys. So thank you so much. And really, seriously, thank you to the patrons. Yeah, I mean, it's not like we have like the biggest listener base in the world, but like the percentage of listeners to patrons. I remember we were when we collabed with Josh Renard, he was in disbelief at like the percentage of patrons we have to like listeners. It's apparently like a really great ratio. So I can't believe it. I don't know what we did to deserve that, but you guys are so amazing, and you've stuck with us. And I know you've always just been patient with us. Like if we get a live stream out late, I've never once heard someone complain, and we're just doing our best to get it to you. And like, I've never felt rushed or anything like that. And it's just, I can't believe it. So you guys are amazing. Thank you so much. You enable us to do this. And yeah, I could talk forever and ever and ever, but I'm going to kick it over to the other guys. Let them say thank you. So thanks again, mortals.
Hey everybody, I'm Joel and I play Dax, the Kobold Rogue. Zach had us throw these together. I'm not really sure the format, so who knows if my little intro here makes any sense continuity-wise, but here we go. First off, I just want to say thank you to all of you guys listening, because I mean, without you, we wouldn't be doing this probably at this point. Certainly makes it less weird that we sit in our basement and talk into microphones for 4 hours every couple weeks and spend all that time editing and stuff. So yeah, I mean, it's awesome. It's been super fun to see all of the community interaction on the Discord and on the subreddits, and then everything like that. It's been unbelievable. We're already way further than I ever thought we would get. And furthermore, want to give out even more thank yous to the patrons who are financially supporting us. That's absolutely incredible. And it's been unreal to be able to buy music plugins, to buy new microphones, to pay for the podcast distribution and everything like that without having to spend our own money and make our wives angry. So it's pretty surreal that people think what we are doing is cool enough to spend their hard-earned money supporting. So again, super appreciate that. It's been a ton of fun. So a couple of the things I wanted to point out in particular from the community, some of the favorite things I've seen over these last 2 seasons. One would be the one that sticks out, I think, probably because it's fresh, and also because from day one it was like a bucket list item, was one of our Discord users, Sasha, made an animatic, excuse me, of a scene with Jules and Diego, the fish, but actually looks like a lizard. That little scene, super incredible to see, so much fun. I watch it every once in a while just to get a kick out of it again. It's I'm so stoked that somebody, finally had the gumption to spend all that time making one. I can't imagine how long that took, but super cool to see. Another interaction that sticks out is when 2 of our Discord members, 2 of our really active ones, some of the OGs, both happened to be, I don't remember the specifics, but I think they both ended up in the same town. Either I'm not sure if one or both of them was traveling, and they decided to meet up in a pub and share a drink together. And that is so cool. I mean, these 2 people wouldn't know each other if it wasn't for the Discord, and that's just absolutely wild that happened, and that people have made new tabletop groups, have started campaigns and stuff with the people within the Discord, and like I said, even have met up in real life to have a drink together. It's pretty crazy. So one other one that comes to mind is the fan wiki that y'all started, which is super cool to see. Again, it's going to come up over and over again. It's surreal to think that people listen hard enough, retain the information enough, and like it enough to spend time making an entire wiki page that has, I mean, all the characters, the locations. They know more about our campaign than I do, if I'm honest. I think I anticipate at some point I will be looking at the wiki to figure out what on earth I'm supposed to know about this character that Zach brings up. So super cool. It's a work in progress. I don't think we've made an official announcement about it yet, but let's see. One of the other things Zach mentioned as kind of a thought primer was what we've enjoyed about the podcast, like how we grown, I guess, in our roles, both with the podcast itself and then in our characters, and like learning how to edit has been super cool. It sort of started as a necessity. We needed an editor. None of us really knew how to do it. And, Zach, Ryan, and Adam all sort of had their predetermined roles, right? Ryan knew how to write music, so we knew that was what he was going to do. Adam was okay at art, so we knew he would do his best. Just kidding, Adam. It's insane, the art you make. And then Zach obviously is fairly busy with GMing. So Taryn and I found ourselves gravitating towards different aspects, and I've fallen in love with the editing. I think it's super fun. As long as we're not in crunch time, then it becomes less fun. But I've really enjoyed diving in and doing a lot of research and watching videos on different parts of it and stuff. Going from the early days. I mean, you've probably heard the remaster by now of episode 1. The difference between those two is pretty stark. Learning how to dive into the spectrograms and cut out certain frequencies in order to make, somebody's microwave beep not cut through their vocal audio, things like that. It feels like a new puzzle every time there's a unique disruption I have to try to figure out how to edit around. I would say as a player, it's been really cool because, for one, I haven't played in a story that is this long before. So even just being able to have satisfying conclusions to story arcs is something that is really fun. I had some experience with that with like one shots and stuff, but as far as having a whole big campaign, it has been super fun to have that. And it's kind of led me to honestly pay more attention in class, so to speak. Zach is so good at peppering in these little breadcrumbs of lore that end up coming back later that really makes you pay attention to what's going on and start trying to put the puzzle pieces together. And then I guess sidebar, what is it called now? The printer theory Discord channel, the one where y'all come up with your different conspiracy theories or guesses on what's going on behind the scenes on the plot is super fun to read as a player character. I know Zach tends to not read them, just to not unintentionally give hints or anything like that. But it's fun from my side to read because you guys put together a lot of stuff that I hadn't or wouldn't. So that's pretty cool. One of the other things that's been fun to experience and hopefully grow in is the performing side of things. I know at the beginning, learning to show and not tell when describing maybe what Dax is doing or how he's feeling, that has been pretty cool and something that'll stick with me, I think, forever as far as playing tabletop games is diving more into the character's feelings and trying to be the character instead of just describing what the character is doing. I've really enjoyed doing that, and I don't think I'll ever play a character that doesn't have a voice at some point. I think it's fun to goof around with different voices. So yeah, the amount of things I've been able to pick up on and grow with this podcast has been unexpected and really enjoyable. Last little primer here is the future or goals I might have. It's interesting because we're already further than I thought we would get, both in terms of how long it's lasted and in the amount of listeners and patrons we have. So we could call it quits tomorrow and I'd be happy with what we've done. We won't, don't worry. But we've already smashed everything I had thought. So maybe some future goals might be more collaborations. I would love to have more fun players for smaller side characters, maybe collabs with, YouTube channels or other podcast crossovers or something like that. Anything like that where we get to work with other people who are in the space is super cool. So I'd love to do some more of that. I don't think we're quite there yet as far as popularity, but doing some sort of convention would be really cool. Either a more local one like NebraskaCon or something like that, or a bigger one. Any sort of convention would be super cool to do. And then we've talked about it a lot, and I think it would be fun, would be some sort of short-term PO box setup to where we can, have people send things if they want, and we like open them up live on stream, something like that. I've seen other shows do that, and it's always a good time. So setting up something like that would be really cool. I think two things I would love to see come to fruition, and I think I have high hopes that they will, would be printed adventure paths, either from the Keldora Chronicles or adaptations of the main campaign. I think that one might be trickier to make it suitable for anybody's campaign, but the Keldora Chronicles, I think you probably could. But anywho, having some sort of Mortals and Portals themed, Keldora themed adventure paths would be super cool. I can't imagine the amount of work that goes into it. I'm probably underestimating it, but having something in print would be awesome. So I really hope that happens at some point. And then the other one that has to happen, if I have to do it myself, I will, but I have to see all of Adam's session sketches in either a coffee table book or a smaller form factor book. I don't know. I just have to have it. I can just imagine 15 years down the line opening that book and reliving the whole story session sketch by session sketch. So if we can't make something officially happen, I'm going to have to do it myself, I think. But either way, having a physical art book of all of the session sketches would just be super cool. Well, I've probably talked more than I needed to. So again, just want to thank all of the community, all of the Discord members, all of the patrons, especially just anybody who's interacted with the show, shared the show with a friend, talked about it, interacted in any way, listened to any of it. I can't tell you how thankful I am. It's been a wild ride and so much fun. And I look forward to season 3. So thanks again for listening. On to whoever is next. Bye.
Hey there, all you mortals in portholes. This one is Ryan now. Not sure which order I'm going in. But yeah, we're shooting out this little thank you to all the fans for 2 years of doing Mortals and Portals together, which is pretty crazy at this point. Definitely didn't think we would make it this far. Definitely didn't think people would still be listening this far. Hopefully you're all still listening right now. But we just wanted to share, some thank yous, some memories, some stuff we're looking forward to. So maybe let's start with the memories. I can't choose one. There's just so many fun moments and so many emotional moments throughout the podcast. Even outside of the main campaign, side stuff that we worked on with the Metacast, live stuff that we've done, interacting with the Discord. Like, you guys are hilarious too. I like seeing the memes, all the fan art. It's all amazing. I guess if I were to try to narrow down maybe some moments, man, like our teleprompter stuff that we did in the Metacast, the first time around when I kind of wrote up the stuff, I don't know, that was just so hilarious to me, being able to make the boys say whatever I wanted to and see them kind of improv moments in that. I still die laughing going back and listening to that. Tons of emotional stuff from the podcast as well. Probably one of the more like things that kind of gets me is all the stuff with Geldir, because I just felt like I always had sort of a soft spot for Geldir. And, Walt's, Taryn's interaction with him and how he handled all that. And I think one of the biggest, reactions that I got from anything that happened in the podcast was when I thought Waltz was going to kill Geldir in the ship, but actually mentions like stabbing past his head into the wall or something like that. And that really got me. He had me until the end there. So yeah, I love all that stuff. And I know there's plenty more to come to. That we've actually recorded already, but obviously I don't want to spoil anything. Those are some of my favorite moments as well, because the boys just do such a great job with the role play, and I think we're all just very, very invested in these characters, in each other's characters, in the story. So it just makes for so many great moments. I'm obviously very thankful for so many things, the fans especially, everybody in the Discord. Thanks so much for everybody that's been listening up to this point, for new listeners, for people that have been with us from the beginning. If you don't have a chance to, or if you haven't had a chance to yet, definitely get in the Discord, because there's people that we've been talking to in there since, the very beginning. And it's just been such a long journey with them. A lot of feedback that is much appreciated. And like I said, just so many funny moments, them sharing stuff that they enjoyed from the podcast. I love seeing those comments and things, because it actually gives us the opportunity to do what kind of we intended with making this podcast which was be able to share this and interact with other people with it. We kind of initially started off doing this just saying, we don't really know what's going to happen with it or where it's going to go. We just want an excuse to ensure that we play with each other every week or two. But it has kind of blossomed into, something more. I think we were all kind of naive with the recording process at first. I had some experience with the music, but had no intention of kind of doing what I ended up doing, where I'm creating music for specific emotional moments and all these sorts of things. And, Taryn, our sound effects were, slim at the beginning, but now he's like, Zach will mention in episodes, Taryn just goes crazy with the sound effects now. And our quality is just improved so much. And I think not to stroke our own egos here, but I think we really give people a good listening experience at this point. And yeah, oh man, sorry, that was a long thank you to you guys, but I don't know, I'm very thankful for all my talented teammates. Adam's an incredible artist. Zach creates amazing story. Joel, the work he does outside of what you guys see to try to make the podcast better, even outside of what he does for just, editing and ensuring that our lip smacks stay out of there, EQing that he does for for each episode. He's doing work on like figuring out business things for us and And he's looked into, us getting better microphones and just tons of different ways that he's worked on improving the podcast. And Taryn as well. He's an extremely busy guy working on all kinds of other things, but it always ensures that he dedicates time to be able to work on his side of things for the podcast. So I'm just super appreciative of my bros. And I'm also thankful for just getting the opportunity to play with my bros. I know that sounds weird maybe saying it like that, but I don't know. I really do love all the guys so much and just have so much fun with them. And this podcast just means so much to me as an opportunity to be able to spend time with them because they're some of my best friends. And I'm super excited for a retreat that we have coming up where I actually get to see Adam and Joel in person for the first time. We'll get to hang out and do some recording stuff together, hang out together. I'm just super appreciative of the opportunity to be able to do that. And that is totally thanks to you guys who have become patrons and helped fund this podcast, more or less. We would not be able to do the things that we do with this podcast without you guys. So thank you for that as well. Stuff looking forward. Keep an eye out for more music stuff from me. In fact, likely today, right now, I'm guessing if Zach posted this on the 20th, our 2-year anniversary, we also released on our 2-year anniversary all the season 1 music out on YouTube. Adam made some incredible art that kind of plays in the background for that. And it's literally every single musical moment that happened in season 1 is in there. It's over 4 hours worth of music, which just blows my mind. Almost every single episode of the podcast had a new piece of music in it. And you guys can all go listen to that right now without us idiots talking over it and ruining it. You can actually hear it all, which would be amazing. So keep an eye out for that. Potentially also on Spotify as well, if I figured out how to do that over the last week. Note to Ryan, figure that out. But at the very least, definitely on YouTube. I know we had someone either in the Discord or in a comment or something talking about wanting that River and Rain song released that Jib plays during Dax's Origins. And I'm still working on kind of creating like a music video thing for that. So keep an eye out for that. I'm just kind of working on finding the time for that. Man, yeah, last but not least, I'm looking forward to season 3 of Mortals and Portals. As of now, we've finished all our season 2 recording. And I don't think I have ever been more excited for more recording because I truly want to find out what happens next year. Some big stuff, some emotional stuff, some fun stuff, some stuff that certainly a lot of us didn't expect. So I am really looking forward to us getting back together and recording and starting up season 3 for you all. So stick around while we've got a little bit of a break here. We'll be talking to you guys in the Discord. Looking forward to doing more fun stuff with you guys. And here's to Mortals and Portals Season 3. See you next time, Mortals.
Hey guys, it's Adam. Gosh, I don't even know where to start. This experience has been one of the most incredible things I've gotten to do in my life. It's so rewarding. It's so creatively satisfying to get to do. And the response that we got from the beginning has just been a dream. You know, we weren't sure what was going to happen when we started this, but we kind of used it as an excuse for us to, at least for a short time, consistently get together. Because as many of us know, the hardest part of playing any role-playing game is to just get together and play. So to give us an excuse to just do that after it'd been so long with these guys that are some of my best friends, it was just cool to have an excuse to do that. But to see what it's become, see the interest, see the support is more than I could have ever imagined. Seriously, thank you guys for just showing up and giving us the encouragement and just the permission to keep doing what we're doing. The community that we've built, both just the general listeners. I mean, obviously we wouldn't be doing this if it weren't for you guys, because our wives wouldn't let us. But the amount of support that you guys give us is just incredible. And the patrons, especially, your support and just the way that you guys communicate in our community on the Discord, the connections that have been made has been so rewarding to see, to know that, you know, just a couple of guys that just started this thing to see what happens, and through that have enabled people from different parts of the world, not just the country, but different parts of the world to connect and start their own games and show each other art and different things they're working on, and to have just a kind, accepting, and encouraging community. I couldn't ask for anything more than that. And just the podcast itself, learning a new system. Maybe that was crazy of us to do, but it's just been so much fun to just hop right in, see what happens, be willing to take that criticism and get better to learn the system more. Although we all know I probably struggle with that more than the other guys, but all of you are helping me through it. So I appreciate that. And then just like connecting to specifically like the characters and the story that Zach is unveiling episode by episode. It's so cool when you play, and I'm sure many of you experience this as well, but to connect with the characters. It's not just a game where you don't care about what happens to these, but like you genuinely feel as if these characters exist in some way in reality. And so to just have that commitment and that buy-in to these characters is just such a cool thing to experience. So I'm probably going way longer than Zach meant for me to. I'll try to get through this a little more quickly, but looking forward to what's next for this podcast. I want to keep creating art and content for this, but I want to explore new ways that I can visually bring Keldora to you guys, whether that's through some animation stuff, maybe some different merch things for you guys to rep. I just want to give you guys, the listeners, new ways to experience and support us. And I'm just so excited for what's next. I have no clue what it's going to look like, but if it's anything like the past 2 years, it's going to be pretty awesome. So I'm going to leave it at that. I love all of you. I love the boys, the crew. I thank you so much for just everything that you guys are doing. And I hope that I can keep doing my part and enjoy the ride. Love you guys. Thank you.
What's up, fellow Mortal and Portalers? This is Taryn, aka Waltzy, from the Mortals and Portals podcast that you guys may have listened to an episode or two of. And if so, I want to say thank you. Thank you so much. Even if you've only listened to one episode, thank you, because it's really amazing that we can create something that people will listen to and hopefully enjoy. Hopefully it makes your day better. I mean, we really look forward to recording and getting this stuff out. So thank you to anybody who has ever listened to us or given us a shot. And even more so, thank you to anybody who's given us kind words or encouraged us along the way, because it wasn't an easy 2 years. Definitely have a lot more respect for anybody who's created a successful podcast or content of any kind. Really, it's there can be some challenges, but I guess I just say that to thank everybody who has been supporting us, because without you guys, we wouldn't have made it this far. And it's been awesome. It gives us as friends really an excuse to continue playing with each other, which is something I think we cherish and we never really want to lose. You know, it's kind of like being a kid again and being able to hang out and play with your friends, use your imagination, and shoot, we're lucky to do it when we're 30, but it's been awesome. And there's a lot to look forward to as well. I don't think this comes out before the end of season 2, but holy mackerel, good old GM Zach Ernesti is cooking up some good stuff for you guys. And I am super stoked to get to play through it and experience it and learn more of the story, because it's getting spicy. It's getting super spicy. Season 3 will be fun. I'm really looking forward to our Patreon campaign that we're running, where I get to play Torek, a dwarf. He's been super fun. Not that I don't love Waltz. I've had so much fun playing Waltz. I remember talking to Zach about the creation of him, and before we would create, probably pages of backstory for my characters in previous campaigns. And it was just fun to kind of take the opposite approach here and just create a very humble beginning, nothing crazy, and see what it kind of turns into. I think even episode 1, I didn't even know what personality Waltz was going to have, but he's been super fun to develop with with the help of not only Zach, but the other players. Ryan, Joel, and Adam are all really awesome to play with and make for some really cool tension and encounters and story. So it's just been super fun to kind of develop a character alongside them. But yeah, Torek's fun too. Torek's a nice little dwarf. If you haven't heard that other campaign episode, I don't know if it's out by now, but shoot, that's a fun one. And Zach's just got a really good way of creating all these stories in depth to his world. So I'm just super stoked to find out more of what happens and what develops And it's been fun to see the progress over the last 2 years. I mean, shoot, me and Ryan were just talking, and I remember the first episodes. I mean, the music was awesome, right? But even the theme song was awesome. But seeing where he is at now is insane, because he just makes some awesome, very unique pieces of music that almost just match words and moments really well. So it's been cool to see him just get better and better, even when we didn't think it was possible, with the bangers that he was making. And then same with Adam. I mean, Adam's always been a really good artist, but his art always just adds so much reality to what we're creating, or almost makes what we're creating real. You know, it's fun to envision everything that happens in your head, but when you have like a real tangible piece of art that Adam creates about an episode, it's going to be really cool to one day hopefully be an old man and, you know, go re-listen to all these episodes and look at Adam's art, listen to Ryan's music, and hear it in a nice clean form, thanks to Joel, who takes out all of our crazy mouth noises and me eating, which, sorry, Joel, I do know that I cause a lot of mouth noises due to me eating things like cinnamon rolls. But listen, I got to eat, my man. But thank you for doing that. So very thankful for all the support from anybody who enjoys the show, and then also the team. I think we have a really awesome team, and we're very lucky to be a part of a team like this. Everyone's super supportive of each other and tries to help each other out in any way that we can to make this thing smooth so that we can keep doing this. So very grateful for the team that I'm fortunate to be on, everything that we have coming forward. Hopefully more years, hopefully 2 more years, 3 more years. Man, I hope another 30 years. I hope we get to play this for the rest of our lives and keep creating a campaign that people will listen to and continue to create an awesome community. I'm very thankful for the community that we have created. Our Discord is awesome, and a lot of really amazing, cool people in there that, again, have supported us like none other throughout all of this, given us awesome feedback, helped us with the rules, given us awesome ideas, created things along with us, or, you know, whatever it is. But we just are so lucky to have that community as well. And I guess lastly, I would just say that my biggest wish for anybody who listens to this would be that you make time to do things like this that you enjoy with your friends. Find a group. You know, it would be the biggest honor to be part of the reason that somebody plays this game that we enjoy so much with their friends, or if it gives them any ideas or helps them enjoy their game better, or, you know, whatever value that we could provide. But I hope that we do provide a value to you, and that it kind of pushes you to go do things that you enjoy and that are fun and make you feel like a kid again. Start your own podcast, create something. It's so much fun, and we're very lucky to have this ability to use our imagination and create and you know, express ourselves however we want. So thanks again to everybody. Thanks to my homies here at Mortals and Portals, everybody in the Discord, and everybody who's taken the time to listen to our little baby here, our little project, our campaign of Mortals and Portals. So thank you, and I hope you stay with us. I hope you stay with us and see what Zach's got brewing over there, because it's some good stuff. It's some good fun stuff, and it's gonna get crazy. So, you know, tighten up the wheels of that wagon and hop on in, and let's ride this thing till the wheels fall off, baby.
Hey guys, it's Adam. Gosh, I don't even know where to start. It was just cool to, but to see, the community that and just the way that to know that I couldn't ask for anything more than that. See what happens. It's to just have that is just such a cool thing to experience. So I'm probably going way longer than Zach meant for me to art. So I'm going to leave it at that.
What's up, fellow mortal and portalers? This is Taryn, aka Waltzy. I remember talking to Zach about the creation of, you know, Ryan, and it's getting spicy. It's getting super spicy. But he's been super fun to develop with, you know, with the help of Joel and Adam are all really awesome. And Zach's a nice little dwarf. So I'm just super stoked to find out. I mean, me and Ryan were just talking, be an old man and, go cause a lot of crazy mouth noises and me eating. I do know that I cause a lot of mouth noises due to me eating things like cinnamon rolls. But listen, I got to eat. Actually, you can cut that last part.